Hello there, everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of Mondays Are for the Nerds.
I am your host, Tristan Stump.
And I am your co-host, Jay Wright. We're glad you're joining us on another Monday or whenever you're listening to this. Hoping you had a lovely week last week. We're here to recap the entertainment news for you. And boy, was there a lot.
Yeah, boy, do we got a super packed episode for you this week. So if you look at that runtime, you're like, man, I cannot stand to hear their voices longer for a certain amount of time. Well, you're just going to have to deal.
Oh, yeah.
Or click away, whichever you do. But,
Just, fast forward.
Yeah.
Get us a full listen to, according to the system, and then you can dip out. But we're here to recap you on as much San Diego Comic-Con news as we could.
There
Still has 1 day left, by the way.
Yeah,
so
one day left.
We'll finish it up
next week we'll have the prologue, and then I would tell you right now, on the comics front, there is some Marvel and DC stuff I could not get a straight answer on, so that will not be there. But so if I miss anything, then that it's because news outlets just didn't have a whole lot of information to give.
And I cross-referenced 3 or 4 different websites to get as much as I possibly could.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
And so if we're missing something, then we're also going to leave out some of our more traditional news pieces.
Yeah, no anniversaries this week.
We got one birthday, which we'll mention later.
We are going to do some of our shorter stuff that we would usually save for the end now because Comic-Con is going to take up so much time.
Yes.
So the order's going to be a little different. But first,
what we did this week.
Got some small talk.
You got anything smaller than this, or?
Oh yeah, I know.
Should we save this for the big one?
Oh yeah, you can save that for the big one. So I played some more Sea of Stars.
Nice.
I am getting, I think, so I am fairly certain, a game that's over a year old, so plenty of people probably already know. Fairly certain there is a end to the game and then a true end to the game where you play the game some more and get the true ending. So
like a little epilogue kind of.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so I get to this point and it's just going to be going and fighting the final boss. No, it's an RPG. So
you still got quite a bit.
I still got quite a bit. I'm towards the tail end though. A lot of character arcs and stuff have kind of started to tie up a little bit. I don't want to talk the game is only a year old, so I don't want to talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if you're going to want to play it. It might not be quite up your alley, but yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? So, I got into Fortnite this week, so
yeah.
What's new?
That's another thing to talk about. But so I did that. My family is out of town this weekend, so I did house and dog sitting by myself. Cooked me a little bit of dinner. Hamburger helper. Absolutely healthy, of course.
Oh, yeah. Old Glove can always rely on that.
Oh, yeah. I also bought Batman, the animated series, like the 90s one, and Justice League, both Justice League and Justice League Unlimited on DVD to watch this weekend. But also because I wanted to have them. And
binge it before Cape Crusader comes out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not going to get this all binge before Cape Crusader comes out. This is 100 and...
So you're going to have a whole week off to be able to binge it.
I think one is 91 episodes and the other is 100-something episodes.
Woo!
Including 2 movies. So but it's nice to have them. One's on Blu-ray, one's on DVD because the other hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet.
Yeah.
That's basically been my week, other than some stuff that you and I both did.
I experienced. I didn't have much this week. I did start to play Fortnite. I rage quitted Counter Spy. I'm so tired of that thing. I'm sorry to whoever makes Counter Spy. I screwed up at the very beginning. It's my own fault. I'm stupid. I thought DEF CON 1 was the best DEF CON you can get, and I was terribly mistaken. I paid for it literally the rest of the game. I'm not going to finish. I'm about to throw my controller through the screen. So, but
I've rage quitted games before and deleted my profile and just started over.
I'm also going to have to do that, but also it took me it was infuriating getting those levels too. So I'm like,
I'll never forget the first time I ever got to the final boss in Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door when I was because when you're a kid, I don't know about you, if other games, you're I don't finish them, but then I go and start them over and over again. Paper Mario used to be like that until I got older. I don't think
the ones that I I don't think I have any that I don't finish and then start over.
But Paper Mario would do that. I would get to a certain point and start over. And so the first time I ever got to the final boss, I died.
Wait, I do have one.
I died and I mashed a bunch of buttons because I was mad, which, I worked through that. I don't do that anymore, obviously, because that's an expensive thing you could. But anyway, and I accidentally deleted my profile and then I did not touch the game for 2 months. I was like, yeah. Yeah,
You're just sitting in
little
self-loathing.
pre-therapy Tristan lore for you. But,
Yeah. And now look at us.
Yeah. Look at us. About just as bad off, but
Yeah.
now we have
A little bit
coping
more
skills.
Exactly. No, I started to play Fortnite. I'm still getting used to it because I swore up and down. I'd never play it.
Yeah. And then had some friends talk you into doing it. Yeah.
Liz? No. I mean, I'll play it more. I'm still getting used to it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't actively hate it. But onto our big small talk this week. We got to see Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh yeah, we got to see Deadpool Wolverine.
And we're seeing it again tomorrow.
Yeah, seeing it with some friends.
I've seen it. We've seen it. I've seen it twice. You've seen it once because we saw it the first time together, and then I saw it again that same day, and then we're seeing it again tomorrow night, and then I'm seeing it again next week. So I have at least 4 plans to go see it.
Yeah.
I have a surprise for Stumpy that has something to do with this. He has not seen this yet, and I've made him not look in whatever I have sitting in this bag next to me.
All right.
Do you have any guesses of what it is?
No, I have no guess. You got yourself a Wolverine cowl. You're gonna start being Wolverine.
Yes. If you hear rustling, I don't know if you're being able to edit this out because it's in like a tote that I have to like pull next to me to like get it out. I got the AMC exclusive Wolverine bucket, popcorn bucket, designed by Deadpool with the open gaping mouth. And the tongue is plastic and it's also kind of rigid at the same time. Let me just show you. I didn't know that it said this until Liz brought it to me at work today.
Yeah.
And Haley and I both died laughing.
Okay.
So it says designed by Deadpool.
Yeah.
Which we knew that. In little small font in parentheses below it, can also be used for popcorn.
Oh Lord.
Oh, it's my favorite thing I've seen so far. Oh, it is so good.
Did you see the alien Romulus popcorn buckets?
I have people seen they don't really. They want it to be detachable, then it'd be good.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little like Dune did their thing, and then
this one was intentional.
Yeah, that was intentional, but I feel like everyone else is like, we're gonna do our own popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't match Dune in this. But no, we saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Initial thoughts? You got a ranking for it?
A ranking? I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
I give it a solid 8.5. Maybe close to a 9. Close to a 9. I loved it. We were dying.
The whole time, yeah.
The whole time. It is so funny. And I saw a lot of people say this in reviews, so I'm just like reiterating what a lot. It's basically like Sean Levy got a bunch of Marvel action figures and then just threw them together and just like wrote what he played with.
Yeah.
And it is so good in that way. I'm just going to say, this is not just really a spoiler. Bye, bye, bye. Can't get it out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Instincts, bye, bye, bye. My favorite scene.
I was telling, because
one of my favorite
I was
scenes.
telling my dad that we need to go watch it.
Yeah.
And so it'll probably be 3 times that I watched it in theaters.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I said, the bad thing about me telling you anything is I cannot.
You can't
Other
tell
than
anyone.
telling you it's really good, I can't talk about anything else because literally every aspect of the movie is a spoiler. What they show you in the trailer is
truly
nowhere
is nothing.
near what the movie
Truly
is.
is nothing.
Plot-wise,
No.
Just everything, no.
When I saw someone say the trailers reveal nothing, I'm like, okay, that might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
No. Nothing.
Nothing. Other than, Deadpool and Wolverine are in it.
Yeah.
Oh, two
And
bad guys.
Dogpool's
okay,
there too.
Yeah.
Dogpool's Dogpool steals the show.
Yeah.
I love how even since the first show they've consistently used Madonna, Like a Prayer, in every single piece of marketing, and then in the movie as well.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. It's a love letter to Fox, and I want to read what Ryan Reynolds He tweeted something today with the cast photo from 2016 or ish that had like a lot of the Fox characters in it. He tweeted, "This isn't just Deadpool saying oh hello to the MCU. It's Deadpool and Hugh, Sean, and me saying farewell to a place and an era that literally made us. We are forever grateful to the fun, weird, uneven, and risky world of 20th Century Fox. It was our origin story, and we wouldn't trade it for anything. And thank you to Kevin Feige and Disney for allowing us to share it." This movie, in of itself, is like a big love letter to the 20th Century Fox,
to the pre-MCU Marvel.
Yeah,
is like
and you can tell it was made with like a lot of passion towards that as well, but also like with a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I mean, you can tell they're having the times of their lives on that set. It's so funny. It's so funny. The action is so good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the action was so
It's
good.
so good.
There were
We're talking about that scene.
Yeah, there were so many parts in the combat of this movie that I was actually like clapping, like yes,
Yeah,
amazing. Like it was.
And there's so many callbacks to like
There is
comics. Like we were talking about after we saw it, comic panels that were like obviously inspired by that, and
or because I was something. I can't help it as an artist when I watch movies like how did this storyboard, or especially when it's a superhero movie, how did they try to make this look like a comic panel? Because I think if you're making a superhero movie, a goal in your cinematography should be that if I pause at certain points, I'm just pausing and looking at a comic book panel made with real people.
And didn't you say there were like a lot of them?
There were so many shots in this movie that was like that, where like if I pause that's a comic book panel right there. I mean, I can't say what they were because
for sake of
spoilers, but there was just so many. Where I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was like the storyboard artist had a fun time drawing that one out. You know,
and I don't know if you saw this, but Kevin Feige said he wishes that like Disney Plus could come to a point where you could like, did you see his quote on that?
Where they made
like,
a
pause,
movie
where you could,
that
like pause it, and then like this whatever scene it was in for one of the Marvel movies, you could like it would show you the scene that was inspired from it.
Yeah,
was pulled directly, and they specifically showed the like the Civil War
I
laser
would
against the shield.
say the technology is there because I mean.
There.
Blu-ray discs used to have that. Where pop-ups would pop up on the so
while you're watching it.
I mean, Amazon has that whole
cool
thing where you
with
pause
a cast
it and the actors that are in that scene you're paused on will pop up at the bottom.
And even like the music and stuff, like and some fun facts.
Yeah. So just bring back special features.
Yes.
If you're not going to give us DVDs with special features and stuff as much as you used to, at least give that. Did you know Elemental has director's commentary on Disney Plus?
No.
Yeah. I mean,
they did advertise it?
No, not that I know of. I mean, it's on the DVD. If you buy the DVD of Elemental, it's there. But it's on Disney Plus too. That's like it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole thing with the Simpsons aspect ratio filter.
They didn't have it on first.
They didn't have it on first. Where they kind of made a tweet about it. It's like so not a lot of people knew the switch was there, and so my sister and I were looking at. I think it was a behind the scenes clip. Like it was a cut scene from Elemental or something, and then I saw the audio like in the bonus clips was the entire movie with audio commentary. I'm like, holy moly!
Yeah, and you just don't think of like streaming stuff as having special features. Like,
no,
you have to like kind of search.
But
for
it honestly should.
It should. 100%.
I don't know about you,
100%.
but audio commentary. I mean, talking about Batman, I watched the first the. Unfortunate thing about this is only 12 out of the however many episodes of Batman the Animated Series have commentary, which is fine because it's a lot. It's
like the highlights.
109 episodes. 109 episodes with commentary is a lot. I'm kind of spoiled by the Simpsons DVDs where every episode of the season had commentary. Yeah. But anyway, so I listened to commentary on the first episode of Batman the Animated Series, and I was sitting there like, man, I love this so much. Just especially because a lot of the time commentary is made years after something comes out, at least for TV shows, but with movies they're usually at least
included with like the first
thing.
release of
so it's usually copy. Like them getting to sit down and watch and like shortly after it's done, I would guess.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to get that perspective. Like the Bob's Burgers movie has commentary, and it's a cool watch because they talk about like working on it during the pandemic and
making sure it has a theatrical release date.
Yeah. Anyway,
good,
but. And because then you get things like that you might not find out because they don't even do promos on, like we live in a world where YouTube and stuff exists and we don't get a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff as much as you'd think we would. And
we get a lot of it on like TikTok and that's it. And even then it's not a lot.
And things like, Batman, the backgrounds on that were painted on black paper, which was like a, crazy thing is you don't find stuff like that out unless you go to a Comic-Con and they talk about it.
Exactly.
And so anyway, special features need to be brought back in some form.
100%.
That's the point of what we're saying.
100%. And blooper reels need to be included on every single streaming thing ever.
Oh, absolutely, blooper. Dude. I miss when Pixar made blooper reels.
Same. They animated them?
Yeah, but it's expensive, and I understand why they don't do it anymore.
It's just, I want them. I want them bad.
Anyway, we're almost 20 minutes into this with small talk, so we better get on to releases.
We'll do the celebrity deaths real quick. We don't have a lot. We actually went like 3 or 4 days with just 4 of them until today, which I kept refreshing it every day, and I was like, this makes me happy that no one else is dying. We got Estee Terblanche. She was 51. She was the star on All My Children, We got Abdul Duke Fakir. He was 88. He was the last surviving and original member of the Four Tops. Whitney Ridebeck. He was Friday the 13th actor and crash test dummy and seatbelt PSA, which is what Entertainment Weekly said.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy Blue Knight. She was the stepdaughter of Slash. She was 25, died. And then today it was announced that 3 members of the Grammy-nominated family gospel group, the Nellens, I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if it's not. They died in a plane crash. Ages were not given, but it was the mom, Kelly Nellen Clark, and her husband, Jason, and then their daughter, Amber Nellen Kistler. That's all our celebrity deaths we have for today. I mean, thank goodness it's a relatively small list because the past couple weeks we have like 9 a week. So still waiting for that week where we don't have to talk about this segment. But in my releases this week, we have in movies, Tuesday, July 23rd, we got the limited release of The Good Half. A man returns home to Cleveland for his mother's funeral, where he must confront his grief, reconnect with estranged family members, and forge new relationships, starring Nick Jonas. Thursday, July 25th, we got a couple Amazon Prime Video releases. We got the release of the documentary Cirque du Soleil Without a Net. Upon the reboot of its renowned production, Zero, Cirque du Soleil encounters uncertainty as performers and crews strive to meet their high standards for the upcoming opening in Las Vegas following a year-long global shutdown. And the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was also released on Amazon Prime Video. On Friday, July 25th, we got the big release was Deadpool and Wolverine, which we'll talk about some of its box office records later. DD was released in theaters, described as in 2008 during the last month of summer before high school begins. An impressionable 13-year-old Taiwanese-American boy learns what his family can't teach him, how to skate, how to flirt, and how to love his mom. We got the limited release of The Beast Within. 10-year-old Willow follows her parents on one of their secret late-night treks to the heart of an ancient forest. After witnessing her father undergo a terrible transformation, she too becomes ensnared by the dark ancestral secret that they've so desperately tried to conceal. It's a werewolf movie with Kit Harington. I'm kind of like intrigued by it. And on Max, we got the movie Knox Goes Away was released, starring Michael Keaton. Diagnosed with a rapidly evolving form of dementia, a contract killer gets the chance to redeem himself by saving the life of his estranged son. And then in TV, I only wrote down 4 this week because I knew we had a big week coming up. Sunday, July 21st, we got the Season 4 premiere, which is going to be the final season of Snowpiercer on AMC. Monday, July 22nd, we got the Season 2 premiere on History Channel of History's Greatest Escapes with Morgan Freeman. The Time Bandits got a series premiere on Apple TV+. It's Taika Waititi produced and Lisa Kudrow starring in on Wednesday, July 24th. And then on Friday, July 26th, the Olympics begin in Paris. And that will run, I think, 16, 17 days. The next 2 weeks, basically.
Did you see that the...
Celine Dion performed. She doesn't do that anymore because of her disease.
Mm-hmm.
But
did you see that? I can't remember. Like whatever the council or however you call it, and that's in charge of the Olympics. Did you see that they have ruled in favor of esports Olympics happening?
I did not. Good.
I just saw that in the news. Randomly, was like, oh,
We'll bring that up.
Yeah.
It's about time. And you got your releases and video game news this week?
I do have releases. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my water.
Like we said, we're clearing out all the small stuff to save room for San Diego Comic-Con.
I got some of my releases here. On July 22nd, we got Cataclysmo, a real-time strategy tower defense game on PC from Dev's Digital Sun. Design and build fortresses brick by brick to stand against endless hordes of horrors in this real-time strategy game with resource management, siege defense, and exploration. Lead from the ramparts, push back the darkness, and hold fast against the creatures of the mist. We also got Critter Crops, an isometric role-playing management game on PC and Switch from Dev's Skyreach Studios. Enter the world of Mutter Island as Sylvie, a newfound witch with the ability to grow magical critters. Restore the island, welcome the unwelcome, and uncover the mystery of Sylvie's past. We also got SNK vs. Capcom, SVC Chaos, the 2003 crossover fighting arcade game on PC, Switch, and PS4, as well as The New Denpamen, a free-to-play RPG with island customizing mechanics on Switch. July 23rd, we got Ete, a relaxing story-driven game with watercolor aesthetics on PC from Dev's Impossible. Ete is French for summer, is a relaxing painting game set in Montreal. Color the city to explore... create artworks on canvas, collect stamps in your album, decorate your studio, fulfill commissions from your neighbors, and unleash your inner artist.
Ooh.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that was one we talked about a while, like Summer Games Fest. And I think it's set in like 2005 or something. Like it's supposed to be set
in like the
past,
the near
past. We also got Exophobia, a retro-style first-person shooter with Metroidvania elements on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch from studios Zark Attack. Explore and fight your way through a crashed human spaceship infested with relentless hordes of aliens as you become more powerful with exciting weapon upgrades and power-ups in this retro-inspired first-person shooter. We also got Shift 87, a first-person observation 3D exploration horror game on PC from devs Pixel Split. Your tasks today, memorize your environment and report any anomalies. Good luck with your shift. Shift 87 is an observation horror game with subtle anomalies and unsettling occurrences. On July 25th, we got Arranger, a role puzzling game. It is a top-down sliding row/column puzzle game. Like, you have your character and you have to move columns, but if you move it, like, this cow's on the bottom square, when you push it down, the cow's not on the top square. It's like those kind of sliding.
It's kind of like where it appears on the top, and likewise if it's like appears on the left, it's from the right.
Yeah, so those kind of sliding puzzles.
Yeah. In other words, I'm too stupid to play it.
Arranger, a role puzzling adventure, follows the story of Gemma, a small-town misfit on a journey of self-discovery. Venturing out beyond her stiflingly cozy confines, she finds an inspiring world, but also one ruled by fear and a strange, immovable, static force. Can she disrupt a culture of stagnation and find a place to fit into it? Gameplay takes place on a unique, interconnected grid that spans the entire world, snappily uniting movement, exploration, and combat. Anything on the same row or column as Gemma moves when she moves, and can loop around the edge of the grid, creating both a playful sense of chaos and regular stream of small, thoughtful puzzles that twist and play with the central mechanic. And finally, on July 26, One Piece Odyssey, the RPG based on the anime of the same name, released on consoles last year, has finally made its way to Nintendo Switch with a definitive edition, which includes all DLC.
Nice.
And extra content and stuff like that.
Nice.
Got some more video game news before we get into the Comic-Con, or my part of the Comic-Con stuff. I know we still got some more stuff for you to talk about, but anyway, my non-Comic-Con video game news. Classic Xbox 360 era game Castle Crashers is getting DLC after 12 years. The devs, The Behemoth, announced in a YouTube live stream the DLC Painter Boss Paradise, which will add custom characters through Steam Workshop support, a new playable character called Paint Jr., as well as an artistic update to the weapons and characters already in the game. We have no release on that yet. Additionally, Behemoth revealed a roadmap of updates to its games, including Castle Crashers, Battle Block Theater, which includes a modern Xbox port, Pit People, and Alien Hominid HD and Alien Hominid Invasion will be receiving PlayStation 4 and 5 ports. We also got the announcement of Date Everything from Sassy Chap Games, a dating sandbox game in which the player explores their house and uses special glasses to turn 100 household objects into hot people for them to date. All 100 characters are fully voiced and has stacked cast, including Laura Bailey as Hamper the Hamper, Zena Robinson as Henry Hoove the Vacuum, and Erica Linebeck as a Dust Bunny, who is dressed like a Playboy bunny. And that's 3 out of the 100 voice actors that are in the game. One of them is, I can never remember his actual name. I only can think of his username, but ProZD.
Yeah.
He's also voicing an unknown object. But
this game sounds insane.
But I feel like I would oddly love it. It sounds hilarious, too.
Yeah.
100 fully voiced.
Inanimate house objects.
That's... Moving on. Lucy from Cyberpunk Edgerunners is coming to Guilty Gear Strive as a fighter. That's cool.
Nice.
Fall Guys is receiving Star Wars content, including Yoda, R2-D2, and Darth Maul costumes.
Nice.
We got a teaser trailer for Terry Bogard in Street Fighter VI. Heihachi Mishima has been announced as a DLC fighter for Tekken 8 following the character's death in the story of the previous game. Season 2 of Multiverses launched Tuesday of this week, with Samurai Jack added as a playable character and a new ranked mode added to the game. And then Humble Games was unexpectedly closed. Humble Bundle and IGN laid off all 36 of its employees and left the future of a handful of yet-to-be-released indie games, as well as the already published indie games, uncertain. A statement from Humble Games cited hard economic times and, quote, restructuring. The restructuring being that everyone is fired, so essentially it's shut down. While IGN and Humble Bundle attempted to assure everybody that the current and upcoming releases would be handled by a consulting firm, some of the developers of the upcoming games have expressed concern to the future of their games, including Squid Shock, who relied on Humble Games for marketing, and Stairway of Coral Island, no longer having access to the console ports of their games for bug fixes, as well as having to indefinitely delay their Switch release because they just have no access to any of that without a publisher. So that
you say
sucks.
They found out by social media?
A lot of the game companies did. I don't know if the people that worked there, because the reason we found out was of people that worked there updating on LinkedIn that they no longer worked there.
Oh, okay.
But the games that were getting published by them found out via social media.
Yeah. All right. So on my side, I'm going to do a quick run through of some of the posters and trailers and release dates that were released this week. We got some posters for Alien Romulus. We got the Season 4 poster of Only Murders in the Building. Nice. New poster for Transformers 1. His Three Daughters. Terrifier 3. The Terminator Zero, which is the Terminator animation series. And the poster for the Shaun of the Dead 20th Anniversary re-release. We got new trailers for Rebel Moon, the director's cuts, coming out on August 2nd on Netflix. New trailer for Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, dropping on September 5th on Peacock. New trailer for A Complete Unknown, dropping in December on theaters. It's James Mangold's Bob Dylan biopic, starring Timothy Chalamet and Edward Norton as Pete Seeger. It looks pretty good. New trailer for Terrifier 3, dropping on October 11th in theaters. New trailer for Speak No Evil, dropping on September 13th in theaters. The final trailer for Borderlands, dropping in 2 weeks on theaters. New trailer for the Netflix show Chaos, starring Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, which looks, I didn't watch it, but I'm like, I know about it, and it looks kind of interesting. Dropping August 29th on Netflix. And the new trailer for His Three Daughters, dropping September 20th on Netflix. And release dates / windows. We just got a couple movies that were announced that are premiering at the Venice Film Festival in December, including Alfonso Cuarón's new series Disclaimer, Wolves, Baby Invasion, The Room Next Door, Queer, Maria, Joker Folie à Deux is releasing, which the original got like basically its best picture, Golden Lion. And then Baby Girl is premiering at the Venice Film Festival. We got some box office updates from Twisters, which came out last week. Earned $80.5 million domestically in its opening weekend, which is the biggest opening weekend ever for a disaster film, and the second biggest opening ever for a live-action film this year. It was only $2 million behind the opening of Oppenheimer, and it earned $9.2 million on its first Monday night, which is the biggest box office Monday for a live-action film since Barbenheimer came out.
Oh, wow.
And it was projected to pass, by the time I was typing this, $100 million by Tuesday night. It did. And then Inside Out 2 has officially become the highest grossing animated film of all time.
Has it beat Lion King yet?
That's the thing I saw, where like if you consider the CG Lion King to like be animated and people are like, it's live action, it's not live action.
I will not be satisfied until it beats that movie.
Yeah. But if you include that, it's number 2. If you don't, then it is the highest grossing animated film of all time, which is pretty good for having only been out like a month.
Yeah.
A little over a month. And then we got one birthday this week, our good friend Trent.
Happy birthday, Trent.
Happy birthday, Trent. Friday, February 26th, which you might hear on the pod in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
When we do a special recording featuring Trent and Hayden.
Yeah, Trent and Hayden, who we've been telling a lot of stories about. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You'll get them on the pod, and we'll give them a chance. Hold on. What day is Week of Broforce?
That would be the 8th through the 16th. So
this weekend Borderlands comes out, and Hayden doesn't like that movie.
For good reason.
Yeah.
But
yeah. We might get a little Hayden Borderlands rant that night. And then now on to our San Diego Comic-Con news.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, San Diego Comic-Con started Thursday, July 25th. It is arguably the biggest Comic-Con in the world every year. If not one of the biggest by far. Kicked off Thursday. I am going to talk about some Marvel and DC news that were released this week. Some corresponded with it, some didn't, but I'm just going to lump it in there because it's, it's Marvel. Or Marvel comic book. DC, we got Batman Caped Crusader earlier in the week. We got first look at 5 new villains and castings, including Tom Kenny as Firebug, which I think we were like, it's basically Firefly.
Yeah, it's Firefly.
Yeah. Toby Stevens as Gentleman Ghost, McKenna Grace as Natalia Knight / Nocturna, Dan Donahue as Clayface, and Reed Scott as Onomatopoeia, as well as a new look and a new clip, which looked fire.
Right?
It looks so good.
Yeah.
Dropping on August 1st. That's next week.
Cannot come soon enough. I'm so excited.
You're going to be binging that.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as it
all
comes
10
out.
episodes, one sitting, probably.
Oh, yeah. We got the new trailer for Joker, Folie Adieu, dropped this week. We got our first look at Brendan Gleeson, and as well as our first look at Joaquin Phoenix singing, and it's revealed to be it will be a jukebox musical.
Yes.
I know they alluded to that earlier. And Harvey Dent will appear according to the trailer's closed captions. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, which, I mean, there's some courtroom scenes from the trailer, so.
Can you believe cinema's gotten to the point where we now have superhero Oscar bait?
I know.
Or comic book Oscar bait, I'd say, because Joker's not a superhero, but...
Exactly. But
like,
Joker's going to be...
I'm in the minority in Joker. I'm like, it's fine. It's pretentious. It's very a movie that... You know the Family Guy clip where it's like, I did not care for The Godfather. It insists upon itself. It insists upon itself. So that's how I am about Joker. It's like, it insists upon itself.
And speaking of which, in new looks from Empire Magazine, Todd Phillips said that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker will never become Gotham's clown prince of crime, saying Arthur clearly is not a criminal mastermind. He was never that. He also said Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn takes some inspiration from the comics, but is mostly a unique interpretation, saying, quote, she became the way how Manson had girls that idolized him. So I'm like, which I can kind of see.
Yeah.
But
it's
color me intrigued, basically.
Yeah, I
wouldn't say excited.
I am intrigued, but I'm not excited.
I'm intrigued. We got some new art that was released of David Corenswet as Superman from James Gunn's Superman. Before they had their panel today, we got a new look at the Penguin, and it was revealed that it is set 1 week after the Batman and will lead directly into the Batman sequel, as well as the Batman universe, Robert Pattinson's universe. Matt Reeves and Dylan Clark are actively looking at ideas for other spin-off series, and they are calling it the Batman Epic Crime Saga, which is Robert Pattinson's little side of which I'm all there for it, because I love the Batman.
Oh, yeah, it was so good.
Yeah. The first trailer for Superman and Lois Season 4 was released, I believe, Thursday, before their panel today.
Mm-hmm.
And the official logo for DC Studios was released.
Yes, it is also the logo across the board for DC. I think comics are going to start using it in October.
Mm-hmm. So. And then obviously we'll probably see it with Creature Commandos.
Oh, yeah, Creature Commandos.
Yep.
I mean, we saw the animated. I saw someone filmed during the panel the animated logo where it flips around and it's the 1940s Superman. And
yeah.
I wonder if what they'll do
change it for every
is
project.
Change it for every. So we go to watch Creature Commandos. It's like whatever the first look.
Rick Flag Senior or something like that. Yeah, I would imagine
it's
going to be something like that. Yeah,
so
just like how Marvel Studios.
Imagine we get that Batman and Robin movie and it flips around and it's just a white it's just a white thing and it zooms out and Batman's holding it and Robin jumps through the first issue Robin was ever in. That would be so cool.
The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's gonna be awesome. We got the first trailer released for Creature Commandos. I believe that was in a panel at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about it here. It looks pretty good. I liked it. I'm excited for it.
Looked irreverent and as it I mean, they're kind of. It's looking like it's just Halloween Suicide Squad. So
yeah,
it's gonna have that
they
same kind of tone.
Task Force M.
Yeah,
is what she said. I believe. Of course, Viola Davis is returning as Amanda Waller, and you got David Harbour, Sean Gunn's got two roles, Alan Tudyk. I can't think of any more off the top of my head. All sorts of people coming for it. And Peacemaker Season 2, Joel Kinnaman will reportedly return as Rick Flag, which I have theories about this because they announced that obviously he was killed in the Suicide Squad by Peacemaker. It was confirmed that Frank Grillo, who's voicing Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos, will be in Peacemaker Season 2 as Rick Flag Sr. And I'm thinking if he doesn't show up, Peacemaker's going to have hallucinations maybe.
Yeah.
Or dreams about that feature Rick Flag, Joel Kinnaman.
Maybe.
I'm thinking that's the only way I can think of because he's officially dead. Eternals 2, Kevin Feige, he made a lot of comments on stuff throughout the week, way before Comic-Con started. I include that in the quotes, but I'm not going to say all of them. He said this week that there are no immediate plans for a sequel to Eternals, which kind of makes sense, what we'll bring up later, I can see. The Newton brothers, who composed the score for X-Men 97, will compose the score for Daredevil Born Again. And as we previously mentioned, Kevin Feige wants to see a Disney Plus feature that allows users to scroll through a movie and then see the comic book art that inspired the shot. And Kevin Feige also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Friday.
Yeah. A lot of different Marvel people were there. I saw that Hugh Jackman gave him a gift card,
a $15 gift card,
because he bought Hugh Jackman a steak
after Hugh Jackman thought he failed his Wolverine
audition,
which I've read the history of Marvel Studios, that big long books, and it's 2 of them, and I'm not far into it, but Kevin Feige did have like a hand in getting Hugh Jackman cast as Wolverine. It wasn't like a big hand, but it was like kind of like a full circle moment. And then of course, Deadpool Wolverine came out this week. Earlier in the week, we got a new teaser was released, which featured a first look at Hunter B-15 from Loki. It was announced that Mephisto was once considered as the potential villain early in the process. Mephisto's getting his hands in every single project, rumored, before now.
We'll never
get him.
It's why we're never seeing it, because Mephisto's the villain of Blade.
It was revealed that Marvel Studios planted fake leaks to hide the biggest cameos, which I love.
Yeah.
It was awarded a Guinness World Record for the most viewed trailer in 24 hours. And it was revealed this week that the original title was going to be Deadpool and Friend before being changed at the last minute. And I think I saw the interview where Ryan Reynolds said that, where it was literally, so they released the first trailer at the Super Bowl this year. Mm-hmm. It was literally like a couple days before that where it was like leaked, and it was like Deadpool and Friend, and people hated it.
Oh yeah.
And so he and Sean went to Disney and basically was like, we need to change this. And he said, like, that's something they've done through the whole process. Like, we need, and they're like, they'd be apprehensive, then be like, we need to do it. We need to do it. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And so they eventually changed it 3 days before the trailer came out, which thank goodness.
Oh yeah.
I hate that title.
Deadpool and Friend. Do you know how many people...
I can see the snarky of Deadpool saying that.
Yeah.
But I hate that title so much. As opposed to Deadpool
Especially
and Wolverine.
Especially because plot-wise, it is definitely a Wolverine movie.
Oh, 100%.
Too. Like
100%.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine all the way. There's not Deadpool and Friend. I could see where if they'd make that like the filming title, where they'd have like fake titles. Mm-hmm. In Thursday night domestic previews, it earned $38.5 million, which is the biggest preview number ever for an R-rated film and the 8th highest grossing Thursday preview day of all time. And it passed $100 million worldwide by Friday morning.
Which, that's...
insane. Yeah. And then by Friday night, I typed this morning, it had earned $96 million in the film's domestic opening day, which is the 6th biggest opening day of all time and the biggest R-rated opening day of all time in general. And it pushed the MCU to become the first franchise to pass $30 billion worldwide. And as of the start of recording, it is sitting at, I believe, $211 million.
For San Diego Comic-Con, a Lego set based on Mario and Yoshi's sprite from Super Mario World.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Depicting the plumber riding Yoshi with the super cape on, has been announced at... Anyway, so the set is like an animated set, so there's a crank on the back, I think, that makes the sprite look like it's moving. So that's pretty cool. It comes out October 1st for $129.99.
I think I saw something where it also has like the fireball kind of, not fireball, but like...
I think
the tongue does something. Yoshi's mouth
open and the tongue does something. It is 1,215 pieces. Lego also unveiled a Lego Star Wars set featuring Jedi Bob, which is... So do you know the history of Jedi Bob?
I think I might have heard of it.
So way back, like original Lego Star Wars sets, when they were making these sets, there was just a random Jedi character that wasn't based on a Jedi in particular that they... I don't know if the community named him Bob or Lego officially then named him Bob, but Lego or Jedi Bob was just kind of this like, oh no, Lego needed to fill in, like we didn't have that because they couldn't make all those different pieces for the alien heads at that time. They just made up another human Jedi.
Yeah.
So Jedi Bob's kind of like this end joke for Lego Star Wars / Star Wars fans. For $39.99, it's a starfighter, it's Jedi Bob, and whatever species Admiral Akbar is, it's that in a stormtrooper suit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that we're getting.
Is it from
that.
like the one coming out on the special coming
I
out?
think
where
it
it's
might
like
be
Darth Jar Jar?
I think it's a tie-in because Jedi Bob's a character in the special, I believe.
Yeah, and there was like Darth Ray or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Darth Jar Jar scene in the trailer is so funny. Misa gonna hurt you, sa. That releases August 1st, and then launching September 1st is a line of blind box Dungeons and Dragons minifigures, which I am very excited for. LEGO also announced Fortnite sets, including a battle bus with 9 minifigures, a supply llama, a Durr Burger, and a giant Peely it's like a giant statue of Peely, and half of it is a skeleton with like the guts and stuff, and half of it's like Peely.
I love that.
Kind of like
I
textbook
act like I
anatomy.
know what this is. I know what the battle bus is. That's it.
So you know what the supply llama is? It's the
yeah, I know that the pinata.
The Durr Burger
right.
might be the only one you don't.
You're right.
know,
Yeah.
'cause- Anyway, Mortal Kombat 1 announced its next wave of DLC for its Year 2 content, Chaos Reign. This includes a new story and 6 new fighters: Ghostface from Scream, Robert Patrick's T-1000, Conan the Barbarian, Noob Saibot, and female versions of Sector and Cyrax. Animalities are also returning to Mortal Kombat for the first time since 1995's Mortal Kombat 3. For people that don't know, it's when they turn into animals and do their fatalities that way. So that's pretty... I wonder if that means every character. I wonder what like Omni-Man turns into and stuff. Like that's just...
Yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail is receiving cards in Magic the Gathering. And then, do you want me to talk about Like a Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just skip
We got a first look at Amazon Prime's live-action Like a Dragon Yakuza series based on the games of the same name. The teaser revealed the casting of Kent Kaku as Nishiki, Kazuma's childhood best friend. Official description of the series: in 1995 to 2005, spanning across 2 time periods, Like a Dragon Yakuza, an original crime suspense live-action series, follows the life, childhood friends, and repercussions of the decisions of Kazuma Kiryu, a fearsome and peerless Yakuza warrior with a strong sense of justice, duty, and humanity. Mm-hmm. And then Crypta the Necrodancer announced it is receiving a mobile phone port with all DLC included. And Funko Fusion released a story trailer of the game showing off the villain and giving its first looks at Invincible and Five Nights at Freddy's content, as well as Nope.
And when does that come out again?
That comes out in September of some... I can't remember the exact date.
I keep forgetting that that's the thing coming out. I'm like, I'm so.
If you pre-order it, you get
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead characters. They did say they are delaying the PS4 and Nintendo Switch versions of the game from September to November for some reason, which means I will be getting it on PC probably because I want to be able to play as soon as possible.
Just kidding.
Now, you have a PS5, so you have nothing to complain about. But
That's true. That's true.
I'm trying to think of anything else I saw that might not be animated or anime or comics related that I don't have on my notes. I know that Five Nights at Freddy's Funko lost the exclusive rights to toys based on Five Nights at Freddy's. They still can make Funkos and stuff, but other companies will not be making action figures and plushies and stuff like that. So
I didn't know they had exclusive rights to.
They did, yeah. For I mean, until recently,
Yeah.
All the action figures and stuff were at least distributed by Funko, if not made by Funko. So, I mean, I could be talking out of my butt here, but
Yeah.
but I'm fairly
Flying by the
certain.
seat of our pants right
I
now,
know,
boys and girls.
I know for sure that they lost exclusive rights. I just don't know what the extent of that means.
What
but
they had to begin
I'm
with.
pretty certain it's like they distributed the action figures and stuff, and now they will only be able to make Pop Funkos and similar items like the soda pops and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's that. There's a lot of toys and stuff that were announced. I know there's like retro G.I. Joe Transformers toys, and then Jakks Pacific, who makes the Nintendo action figures.
Yeah.
And I think Sonic 2, they're making Simpsons action figures.
Okay.
So
There you go. On Thursday, July 25th, we got a couple panels that kicked off Comic-Con. Transformers 1 had its panel. It revealed a couple pieces of information. It has no human characters. It takes place 3 billion years before the live-action movies. Brian Tyree Henry describes the film as a tragedy about the loss of friendship and the heartbreak that follows, which we were talking about this before they released the trailer, how they're going to like reveal how they got.
yeah.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I'm
so-
I'm surprised it's not like a slow burn.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what really causes that break.
Well, yeah.
Because it seems like it's a
I would
like a
hope
snap.
I would hope it's fairly later in the movie, but
Oh, it has to be.
yeah.
But then again, they've like revealed. Anyway.
Anyway, we
Yeah.
we don't have time.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth praised Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime voice while saying he tried not to sound exactly like Cullen to make Orion Pax sound more cocky and young, which makes sense, but also
Dude, you
dadgum
on
some of those lines.
Then you're sounding like him on accident. Then,
Yeah.
because there's so.
is-
I mean, when you went Autobots roll out, and like it sounded like a younger Optimus,
Exactly.
like a younger Peter
so like
Cullen.
Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah.
this might be a little bit too early. Amazing voice acting performance so far. And then they released the new trailer. They released it at Comic. They showed it at Comic-Con. They released it like an hour later online.
Mm-hmm.
And released 3 new clips shown exclusively to the San Diego Comic-Con crowd. And Steve Buscemi's role was revealed to be playing Starscream, which is Megatron's right-hand man, I think.
That's great.
Isn't that?
Steve Buscemi as Starscream is great. Or
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi?
It's Buscemi.
Not bad. Steve Buscemi. We got some SpongeBob SquarePants news. The cast did a live table read of the series pilot while showing the original sketches. And it was announced a new movie coming out on December 19th, 2025, called SpongeBob SquarePants: The Search for SquarePants. Mark Hamill will voice the Flying Dutchman.
Why is it not Brian Doyle
Yeah, I
Murray?
haven't
That's
seen-
and someone had a theory that it's going to be the SpongeBob movie thing where it just replaces a pre-existing character with
For
a
the
new
movie.
version, because like
Yeah.
King Neptune already existed in the movie, or existed in the show, but then the King Neptune in the movie is a completely different character, and people
Who
are
voiced
guessing.
him?
Jeffrey Tambor voiced him in the movie,
Okay, yeah.
and it was just I can't remember who voiced him in the show, but it's
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
And so, so maybe it's a different version of Flying Dutchman, but if not, then it's like it better be because he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because if not, then it's like, oh, you're just
Why are you replacing
recasting
all
for the
these?
sake of.
It's kind of like there was one show that came out where they just like recasted one for seemingly no reason recently. Recently, as in like might have been last year. I don't remember what it was, but we're like, why didn't you just?
Yeah,
He was perfectly fine,
So-
or like they're perfectly fine.
it's like Scoob. Like
Yeah.
when Scoob came out and they recast everybody, it was like Zac Efron and Fred, but they kept Frank Welker as Scooby Doo. And
Yeah.
it was like, you're telling me Matthew Lillard isn't a big enough name.
He was in Good Girls. Amazing in Good Girls.
and
by the way.
then you get like, people, not to the same extent as live action movies, but people know voice actors.
yeah,
Like
everyone knows who Tom Kenny is.
Like Tom, if you say Tom
if
Kenny,
not, just they'll go
Frank
like
Welker.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, if you SpongeBob, then it's
I mean, there's more,
It's-
but
it's-
like that's
so-
what.
so it's like Great Allele and who else who was replaced for the movie? I mean, Frank Welker as Fred, but Kate Micucci. Kate Micucci's like a comedy, like people
Yeah.
know who that is.
She's been in
She's a
movies before.
comedian.
Yeah.
It's like, but I mean, and that's just me talking about Scoob. That's not talking about
There's
just SpongeBob
yeah.
in general. But it's like that'd be like if this new SpongeBob movie, they're only replacing him. Why? Unless he just said I didn't want to, or I'm getting too old for this, or whatever. Because it's
Yeah.
like,
As far as we know, he's perfectly able to do it, but it might be a personal reason, like we said.
Yeah.
Who we'll probably find out.
because what cartoon movie should be is keeping the voice actors that are from the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and then having celebrities voice the new characters, like the original SpongeBob movie did. Even though it replaced King Neptune, it's whatever. It's still
Yeah. So that's Scarlett Johansson
it's still
and
Scarlett
David Bowie,
and not David Bowie. David
I
Bowie.
thought he was in the.
No, he's the King of Atlantis.
Oh my goodness!
It's the movie with Scarlett Johansson, Jeffrey Tambor, and Alec Baldwin,
That's it.
and David Hasselhoff has.
I
a
knew
cameo
David
in it.
Hasselhoff.
And so it's like
Why did I-
Teen Titans Go did that. They kept the main cast, and then Nick
Will Arnett
Cage
as-
and Will Arnett and Halsey and Lil Yachty were like
Yeah.
here are celebrities for that's what it should be. But we've gotten into this thing where it's like, oh, it's a movie based on a cartoon. We have to
Recast
replace
them all.
everybody. Chris Pratt's got to be Garfield, and it I had to throw that in there. Anyway, I could rant about
You just
this.
stabbed me right in,
I could
just
rant-
to the left of my heart a little bit. He didn't nick me, but
I could keep ranting about this, but I won't. But it's like it's interesting
it's
to
kind
me
of frustrating.
that Brian Doyle Murray, who voiced Flying Dutchman as recently, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched SpongeBob in a while, but I know in like 2019 he was still voicing the character. So unless something changed in the last 5 years where he's like, I can't do it anymore. I mean, not that I'm not excited that Mark Hamill's going to be in it. Like that's
Mark
just
Hamill
cool.
can do like little to no wrong.
Yeah, but it's just an interesting. It's a Hollywood choice that I'm like, okay. No, in fact, I know he voiced the character for the last year for the video game that came out on PS4.
Saving Bikini Bottom?
No, Cosmic Shake.
Oh, yeah.
The Cosmic Shake, Brian Doyle Murray was Flying Dutchman. So, anyway, it better be a different version of the character. Long story short, rant short.
Yeah.
We can move on now.
Move on. Percy Jackson and the Olympians got a panel, and it was revealed that Daniel Dimmer is cast as Tyson in season 2. Having recently read the book when the show was coming out, I saw a picture of like him sitting next to Walker Scobell. I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yeah,
I can see him throwing a Cyclops on there. I Am Legend 2, we got some news confirmed to be a sequel to the alternative ending cut. They said, quote, the one where Will lives and things don't go well for humanity. The world returns in a way that's kind of spectacular. And Stephen Cable Jr. is being eyed to direct. The BioShock film is still happening at Netflix, but the budget has significantly been reduced. And they said, quote, we're doing a much smaller version. It's going to be a more personal story. Deadpool and Wolverine was shown to the audience in Hall H. The opening to Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was shown. We got the first teaser for James Wan-produced horror series Teacup coming to Peacock on October 10th. And it was announced that the script for the new Spawn movie is finished. That all happened on Thursday. Friday and Saturday were a lot bigger because that's when you get all like the weekend panels and stuff.
On the anime side of things, I've only got like 3. I didn't see a whole lot, so if I'm missing anything, let me know. We got a trailer for Adult Swim's Uzumaki, an upcoming horror anime which is based on Junji Ito's manga of the same name. Releases September 28th, 2024, and will also stream on Max. Looked pretty spooky. Rooster Fighter, the acclaimed manga about a mutated rooster receiving superhuman strength fighting demons, is receiving an anime adaptation. So that's pretty cool. I'd never heard of that, but that looks like it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Adult Swim gave us a first look at Lazarus, the new anime from Cowboy Bebop creator Shinichiro Watanabe and Jujutsu Kaisen studio Mappa. It's set to release in 2025.
On Friday, July 26th, they kicked off with The Boys panel, and by The Boys, I mean it's The Boys universe, it's not just like the show. They start off with The Boys. A blooper reel for season 4 was released, and it was revealed that writers have been working on the final season for 2 months. Jensen Ackles will return as Soldier Boy as a series regular for the last season. And then Eric Kripke said, quote, there's a lot of good father-son emotion between Soldier Boy and Homelander that we never really got a chance to play that we're really interested in. I haven't seen The Boys. It's not really like my kind of thing. It's like I can't comment on like if I'd like that or not. But here I know there's a lot of people that are like you'd love it. And like not really my cup of tea. We got an announcement: a prequel series starring Jensen Ackles and Aya Cash is in the works called Vought?
Vought, I would guess.
Vought Rising. Series follows a twisted murder mystery about the origins of Vought in the 1950s, the early exploits of Soldier Boy, and the diabolical maneuvers of a soup known to fans as Stormfront. Gen V, it was announced season 2 will officially release in 2025, and Chase Crawford will appear as the Deep, and Hamish Linklater has been cast as the Dean. And that, as you know, voices Batman and Cape Crusader. Coming out. It was announced that The Boys Mexico is spin-off as an early development. Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal are producing. And The Lord of the Rings of Power panel, the new trailer for season 2 was shown, not released. And it was revealed that Imps and Spiders are showing up in season 2, including Shelob. Doctor Who panel, it was announced that a new series called The War Between the Land and the Sea, starring Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Russell Tovey, Gemma Redgrave, and Alexander Devrient. Series follows a fearsome and ancient species that emerges from the ocean, dramatically revealing themselves to humanity. I didn't say a time period, and I've also never seen Doctor Who. I want to get into it. But I'm assuming it gives me like prequel vibes or like ancient vibes, kind of. The first teaser was released for the Doctor Who 2024 Christmas special, starring Ncuti Gatwa and Nicola Coughlan as Joy. And when talking about Gatwa's season 2, Viradu Seth's companion will be named Belinda Chandra. Unclear if there's any relation to a character with a similar last name or same last name from a couple seasons back maybe. And The Little Mermaid's Jonah Hauer King, who played Prince Eric, I almost said Philip, joins the cast and will be involved in Ruby Sunday's story. We got some news on Invincible. First look at season 3 by way of a poster featuring Mark in blue and black. It was revealed that in season 3, Mark Grayson will be in his, quote, darkest and most intense era. And they said, quote, those bigger stories really start crashing down in season 3. But season 4 dwarf season 3 in a lot of really crazy ways, which, by the way, season 4 renewal was confirmed. I know it was like leaked a while ago.
Yeah.
That it was possible.
We kind of assumed.
Yeah. It was officially confirmed. And Robert Kirkman says, quote, there has been chats, end quote, about some sort of Homelander and Omni-Man crossover, obviously outside of Mortal Kombat. We got The Walking Dead universe panel, which revealed that The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon was renewed for season 3 at AMC, and the trailer for season 2 was shown at San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of these trailers were shown and not released, which is what happens. And The Walking Dead Dead City, the first trailer was shown. We got a new look at DC Heroes United, which is a new interactive streaming series featuring the Justice League, premiering later this year. And then we assume it's similar to the Telltale.
Yeah, because the link that the official DC the Twitter put out was a link to like a pre-register for like a phone app. So I would assume it's going to be some kind of Telltale similar thing or whatever. You know, Netflix has those interactive specials. I think it's that.
If Alien Romulus had its own panel, Fede Alvarez says audiences won't need to see any other Alien movies to understand Alien Romulus, saying there's a bunch of Easter eggs, but, quote, member berries cannot be the full meal. I'm not sure what... I know what he's trying to say. I'm not sure if that was like a typo from Discussing Film. A lot of my news from Discussing Film and Games Radar, which I'll reveal shortly. He revealed that it was shot chronologically, and so he said, like, when a character would die in the movie, they'd leave the set because they were done filming, and I'm like... I love it when shows do that because it feels like it gets the emotion more like real, like you're actually losing this person. And then it was revealed that the baby chest burster took 9 people to puppeteer, which we recently announced. He said that it was like he tried to, if it could be done practical, it was done practical, which I love. I love that so much. He's going full Christopher Nolan. I saw a thing, by the way. This is like unrelated, but it was either a joke or something where Christopher Nolan was making like a horror movie, and then like, dude's gonna unleash demons on the real world because he doesn't want to use CGI. He's actually gonna bring demons back because he doesn't want to use CGI.
Mr.
Nolan.
Mr. Nolan, we want you to remake Poltergeist for us, please.
Yeah.
All right. No problem. Oh.
Just shuts the door. You hear like a lock click, and then the lights start flickering in the building. Like, what's he doing? Oh, he's just brainstorming, getting his ducks in a row,
making a couple deals. Don't worry, it's normal Hollywood stuff.
Exactly. He was promised by Universal. They let him do it. A couple news on the Dexter universe. Dexter Resurrection. It was announced that a sequel series is in the works. Michael C. Hall will return as Dexter and releasing summer 2025. And the prequel, Dexter Original Sin, the opening sequence was released, and it was announced that Michael C. Hall will return to narrate as Dexter's inner voice, kind of like Jim Parsons and Young Sheldon. Sorry, every time we talk about prequel shows now, I just think of
Little Bill.
Little Bill. Oh my goodness!
Think about like what if like one day Young Sheldon and or what if one young day Young Sheldon and Dexter accidentally switch narrators.
He's just talking about like the anatomy of. Oh, that's genius! I doubt you could pick up any word I just said while wheezing.
Penny loves the show. I don't understand why.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. It was announced that End of Violent Nature 2 is in the works, and they released a new clip from The Legend of Vox Machina, and a storyboard sequence for the first season of The Mighty Nine was released. Both are Critical Role shows.
Very, very exciting.
Oh yeah. And that was all for my Friday news, or
get some of my comic stuff out of the way here before we go on to the final day of the for us.
You can't see it, but I'm rocking back and forth in excitement
for our Comic-Con until next week when we talk about Sunday. Anyway, so DC Comics, DC's Dark Crisis crossover. So this is a little recap for people. DC's Dark Crisis crossover event. The DC universe has been without its Justice League. leaving the Teen Titans to carry that weight. DC has unveiled that the current Absolute Power crossover event will pave the way for a new Justice League comic series, Justice League Unlimited, from writer Mark Waid and artist Dan Mora. The series seems to draw inspiration from the animated series of the same name.
Ooh.
With classic leaguers like Batman, Superman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman being joined by a rotating cast of heroes throughout the DC Universe canon, including Star Sapphire, Captain Atom, and Black Lightning, who are spotted on promotional art. This will see the return of the Watchtower, and Darkseid has been teased as the overarching villain of the series. This is also the first time the Justice League has been around since in 2 years. Since the Dark Crisis event.
Yeah.
So this is oh wow, it's good
Very
to see
big
them
deal.
back. Justice League Unlimited is a part of DC's new All In initiative, which strives to have new, different series for various age ranges, as well as giving new jumping in points to existing books. Mark Waid states that the Watchtower is vast and compares it to Deep Space Nine from Star Trek.
Ooh.
We're taking the word unlimited seriously, is a quote from him. So that's pretty cool. DC also gave us new information on its new Absolute Universe line of comics, which is I talked about last week, where Batman's built like a
long hair means
yeah, and
business.
Superman has long hair to mean business. The Absolute Universe aims to modernize and recontextualize various DC characters, and I saw a lot of outlets say that it is similar to how the Marvel Ultimate Universe did with their characters. Which I wonder if that means we're going to have a classic DC hero end up being the ultimate villain of the universe's downfall, like Marvel did with Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Anyway, Absolute Batman from writer Scott Snyder and artist Nick Dragotta is described as Bruce Wayne, who works as a city engineer construction worker and owns a French bulldog that has bat-like ears. This Bruce is 7 feet tall in the bat suit and 6 feet tall without, and he's 250 pounds of muscle.
He's a big dude. Yeah.
He tangles with a redesigned black mask who has this creepy looking version of it and has two dual wield guns, and Alfred, who is a MI6 agent instead of a butler.
Ooh.
So he's been sent to
this.
Gotham for a new target, and then
Yeah.
runs into Bruce, and then that leads to whatever. So that's pretty cool idea. Absolute Wonder Woman sports giant weapons and Hades-esque gear while riding a skeletal black Pegasus. She seems to have been raised in Hades, is what I'm kind of inferring from the art we
Yeah.
got. Absolute Superman wasn't given a whole lot of information beyond that Krypton could still or would still explode.
Yeah.
So we don't know. They're but don't worry, we're not going to be anything too different, and that's all they told us.
Yeah.
The Flash and Green Lantern Absolute comics have been confirmed. And that reminds me, Justice League Unlimited has confirmed that the Flash for their lineup is Wally West, not Barry Allen.
Nice.
DC announced a new Justice Society of America comic from Jeff Lemire and Diego. I'm not going to try to say that last name. Some info on it, and Justice League is a big part of the story. There's already planned crossovers between JSA and JLU. The JSA have a room in the Watchtower called the Golden Quarters, and it launches this October. I'm pretty sure. DC announced a New Gods comic from Ram V and Evan Cagle. A story about fatherhood focusing on High Father, Light Tray, Orion, Mr. Miracle, and Big Barda, and includes the impact Barda and Scott Free's baby has on their lives. A new god will arrive to complicate things. The current Absolute Power storyline starts a spiral between New Genesis and Apocalypse, and it releases this December. On Marvel's side, we got a first look at Spider-Man's suit for the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man comic. It's silver and red and has a green look. It was made by Dr. Doom, I think, is what it...
Like I said, it gives me that and Mysterio vibes.
It's Dr. Doom, and the way they draw Spider-Man's head does
The
Mysterio
like
dome
a fishbowl
thing.
kind of, yeah.
8 Deaths launches this November. A little description of it from Marvel themselves. The world has changed. Dr. Doom is a sorcerer supreme, but he has no plans to spend his time like his predecessor. Each year, Doctor Strange would use every ounce of his power and experience to save the world from an evil god and his scions. This year, Doom is delegating this task to Spider-Man. The leader of Latveria has given Spider-Man a new magic-powered suit and 8 extra lives with which to save the world. True believer, they won't be enough. ... So that's a pretty interesting
Yeah.
concept. Marvel will release a Ultimate Universe 1 Year In comic this December from writer Dennis Camp. Will follow the Makers Council and sets the tone for the next year of Ultimate Comics, includes introducing 2 classic characters to the universe. I had a Marvel Unlimited subscription for a little bit, and I read some of the Ultimate comics that were available on the app, and it's pretty good. I've heard great things about the new Spider-Man relaunch.
I feel like Ultimate is one I'd really like.
Especially this new one.
Yeah.
Because this is the one where Peter's like older when he
Yeah.
gets his powers and stuff, because Reed Richards' timey-wimey shenanigans.
Yeah.
Marvel is going to launch a new West Coast Avengers comic about Iron Man and War Machine, bringing together reformed villains, starting with Ultron as a West Coast Avenger.
Very interesting.
Releases this November, so that's interesting. A 5-issue TVA comic series is in the works from Catherine Blair and Pierre Perez. Or Perry Perez, I think is how you pronounce that.
How do you spell it?
P-E-R-E.
I would say
Anyway,
Perez.
it follows displaced heroes such as Spider-Gwen, Gambit, and Agent Carter, who must monitor timelines for the TVA. It releases October, I think. I think the first issue releases October. The date on that I couldn't find a clear answer on.
Carter's interesting.
Marvel announced that Wade Wilson's daughter, Ellie, will take the mantle following Wade Wilson's death in Deadpool #7 this November, with writers Cody Ziegler and Alexis Quasarano and artist Andrea DeVito. That's pretty cool. On a miscellaneous side of comic news, Oni Press has revealed that the success of the revived EC comic brand has led to the decision to expand the EC brand, with Epitaphs from the Abyss series extending from a 5-issue miniseries to 12 issues. A holiday-themed anthology special will launch this December. Dynamite Comics have announced 5 new comic series in partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery. Ben 10, Captain Planet, the Herculoids, Thundar the Barbarian, and Dynamite and the Blue Falcon will all be receiving a new comic series from the publisher, and joins the Powerpuff Girls, Space Ghost, and the upcoming Johnny Quest in the lineup of WB Comics from Dynamite. Don't know why that's not DC. That's like an interesting...
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but it's whatever. Dark Horse Comics has announced new Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering comics launching in summer of 2025, which means IDW no longer has exclusive rights to Dungeons & Dragons comics.
All right, Saturday today, July 27th, was the last big day for San Diego Comic-Con, and there's still like panels like ongoing right now, a bunch of small ones, but I'll cover that next week.
With Sunday stuff,
yeah. With Sunday stuff, because we got the big one out of the way, because we're like, we need to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm so excited. You just saw me lean back before. I'm like, I'm so excited. Anyway, we'll get there. We start out with the Star Trek panels. We got Season 3 trailer was released for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Season 5 teaser trailer was released for Star Trek Lower Decks. And a teaser trailer was released for Star Trek Section 31, which I saw was like a movie. With like Michelle Yeoh coming out. I don't know if it's like a theatrical movie or like a Paramount Plus movie. Batman Caped Crusader. It was in its panel. It was revealed that Minnie Driver will play a gender-swapped version of the Penguin.
Oswalda Cobblepot, I think.
Is that what the name is? I was trying to think of like the name that it could be.
That's really cool. I was like, it seemed like I like that they're going back to like the 1940s roots for a lot of these Batman characters, but I was hoping they would do something interesting with some of them, which it looks like they're doing that with Clayface.
And like Harley Quinn.
They're definitely doing that with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
They're making Harley Quinn a villain on her own, and then with Clayface, it looks like it's a mix of the modern Clayface, who can turn into things, and the 1940s Clayface, who was just a guy that a deranged actor who put on a costume and killed people because they were remaking his movie without him. Like, that's his origin in the 40s. He was just a serial killer who was mad that he got recast.
Yeah,
and that's
kind of like how they did for like I think Arkham or Gotham Knights, one of the two.
I think so, and so it's really cool that they are doing their own thing with these characters on top of paying homage to Batman's like original roots.
Yeah.
And so I saw the picture. It was a screenshot of Batman
and she was like
fighting
forward
she had her umbrella with the knife sticking out the top. Anyway, so that's very cool. I was also, when I heard I saw the news before, I was like, oh, gender swapped Oswald. I wonder what that's going to look like. It's like it looks like
if you just had a quick glance, it looks like what you would think Oswald Cobblepot would look like.
And then you're like, oh wait, no, that's lipstick, and it's not bald. Like it's
you got like the little bob with the hair.
And Minnie Driver, it's just these castings are all like, huh, okay. You know, when you hear Minnie Driver, it's like, I wonder who Minnie Driver's going to be. Oh, Penguin. Interesting. So that makes me more excited. I just can't wait to see it.
And then My Adventure with Superman, it was revealed that Superboy will appear in season 3, and as well as Cyborg Superman will appear amongst other villains.
Hank Henshaw was in season 2, so it's not surprising that Cyborg Superman's there, but it's cool that we know he's there, and we know that Lex is going to be bald now.
Yeah.
So we're finally
getting to like the accurate.
I think I've talked about it before. It's one of those ones where it's just super fast pacing. So the fact that we're already getting Superboy.
Yeah.
I saw a theory. So My Adventure with Superman is very anime inspired. Like there's a lot of anime tropes that they do with.
Yeah.
And someone had a theory that because Superboy's design, the picture was released online. So Superboy's design, because Superboy in the comics is a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor that's put together to make Connor Kent.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like Lois. And so there's people having a theory that what if
like
it's...
an affair?
No, not an affair. No, not an affair. A situation where instead of having him be a clone of Superman, it's Superman and Lois's son from the future that has come back.
Ooh.
And kind of I don't know Dragon Ball enough, but I think Trunks is what someone said online. So Trey can listen to this and then correct me if I'm way off base. But pretty exciting. I've been liking My Adventures of Superman a lot, so I'm glad they got a season 3 and that they've got all the way through season 4 or 5 planned. So it's like
it's not going to end anytime soon.
Yeah, as long as they keep getting renewed, they've got stories to tell. So
and I saw, doesn't Jack Quaid voice Superman?
Yeah, Jack Quaid voices Superman, and he auditioned.
That's what I was going to say. I think he announced that this week
to play Superman in the David Cornsweet movie.
Yeah, so it's kind of like interesting, kind of like another full circle moment where you're not going to be Superman, but you're going to be Superman.
Yeah.
So another thing. We got the first poster released for the Everybody Hates Chris sequel series, animated series called Everybody Still Hates Chris. And I believe Terry Crews, Chris Rock, and then who played the mom were coming back for it. The Simpsons, did you see this?
Yes,
Venom?
I did, yeah.
We got the first poster for a Venom parody segment of the 35th Treehouse of Horror coming out this fall. It's called Denim. It's described as an exploration of Homer's quote, deep relationship with a simple alien symbiotic pair of jeans. I love that.
Did you watch, it was a standalone Treehouse of Horror episode last year. So they had the Treehouse of Horror, which was the 3 episodes within an episode. Then they had a standalone one that was a parody of It. It was all 30 minutes was just an It parody with I think it was Moe, Homer, Marge, comic book guy, and
as like the adults.
and Barney as the kids and the adults. And then Krusty the Clown is Pennywise. Anyway, it was really good. It was like as far as like modern Simpsons episodes go, it was a pretty good
up there.
Yeah. It was like I really enjoyed it.
Superman and Lois panel. The first clip was released of Superman versus Doomsday.
Oh wait, another Simpsons thing. I forgot. I saw this right before we recorded, so you would have missed it. The creator of El Tigre. I don't know if you remember El Tigre at all. I can't remember his name. He also created Book of Life, the movie.
Okay, I know that one.
Anyway, he is animating the couch gag for the Treehouse of Horror this year.
Nice.
All right, back to Superman
I
and
love
Lois.
their couch gags. That's all I had is the first clip of Superman versus Doomsday.
And Doomsday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in Family Guy, the panel. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
Glenn Powell was cast in the first Halloween special releasing for Hulu. I believe it's going to be this fall. His character is described as the reigning champion in, how do you pronounce this town? Quahog's annual pumpkin contest.
Man, he is keeping himself busy.
I know, and if he's getting in the voice acting place, woo, I'm excited. Glenn Powell can do no wrong.
Come watch Heathcliff, the movie starring Glenn Powell as Heathcliff.
I love that. That's a movie. In the Wild Robot panel, which I have said, you've heard me say multiple times in this pod, it's probably going to win Best Anime Feature. It looks beautiful. It looks stunning. Lupita Nyong'o voices the robot. She says her voice was inspired by...
So the voice was inspired by iPhone, the Siri.
Yeah. As well as AI TikTok voices, but she said the character and voice becomes more three-dimensional throughout the film. And then Chris Sanders said, I believe he's directing it, he said Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and The Bad Guys helped to pave the way for the film's animation style, saying the look of the film is 100% painted with the robot Roz, as the only traditional 3D element, which I love.
Oh yeah, that's
looks the tree scene.
mm-hmm.
Oh, this movie looks so beautiful. It comes out in September. I'm so excited. I think the beginning of September. And then the last, I don't want to say small panel, but before the big two, Silo had a panel. It was revealed that season 2 will premiere on November 15th on Apple TV Plus, and Steve Zahn was cast. And see Rebecca Ferguson Apple TV Plus drama. And then arguably the two biggest panels of this San Diego Comic-Con, one was for The Penguin, which comes out in September. We didn't have a release date before tonight. It had a panel where Matt Reeves and a bunch of other showrunners were there, and then Colin Farrell had to like zoom in because I forget why he wasn't there. He wanted to be there. It was revealed that the Batman 2 was originally going to pick up with the Penguin taking over crime in Gotham, but Matt Reeves decided to turn this element into a TV series instead. I'm really excited for it. Colin Farrell had to do a 7-hour makeup test for the Penguin, but says it was one of the best days in his career, and he did around 2 months of dialect work for the Penguin's voice, which he is unrecognizable in that thing.
Oh yeah, when my dad and I went and watched that, my dad was like, "That's Colin Farrell."
That's Colin Farrell. Matt Reeves said in this panel, he's like, every time he sees Colin Farrell like as himself, he's like it's the jump scare because he's not used to seeing him like that. Mm-hmm. He always sees him as the Penguin, which is totally makes sense. He like becomes the Penguin.
Yeah,
his own character. They released a new trailer, which was later released online, and it showed Sophia Falcone as a rehabilitated Arkham inmate, which she has like in the trailer. Did you watch it? He like turns around and he's like, "Oh, Sophia," and I saw her like little mouth twitch. I'm like, "Oh, she's gonna be crazy," and it's gonna be so awesome. It premieres on September 19th on HBO. We did announce a couple weeks ago. It is now an HBO original, and it is releasing one day apart from the premiere of Agatha All Along. So that's gonna be like a good week.
Oh no, which one do I choose?
The Penguin. I mean, I'm very clearly more Marvel than DC. That's a no-brainer for me. I'll watch The Penguin. And then showrunner Lauren LeFranc said on the different perspectives of Batman and the Penguin as characters in this world, he said, quote, "The Batman's up high looking down on Gotham, and Oz is in the streets in the grit and the grime." That show's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited. And then it was revealed that the Batman 2, Colin Farrell will return as the Penguin, and Matt Reeves said it officially begins filming next year. And now on to the biggest part of this year's San Diego Comic-Con. The Marvel Studios panel started at 8 o'clock tonight, our time, Central. And it was supposed to last an hour. Kevin Feige, I did see beforehand when he came on stage, said we're going to talk about 3 movies. Beforehand, it was a potential Avengers versus X-Men Instagram account had surfaced. Haven't heard anything else about that.
Who knows?
It wasn't like official thing. It was just saw. So he did say they're going to talk about 3 movies, which we theorized. They obviously teased Fantastic Four with the drone show Thursday night, and then we're like Captain America, and then probably Thunderbolts. They started out with Captain America: Brave New World. Kevin Feige said it is a return to the grounded aspects of the Winter Soldier, which we could tell from the trailer. Tim Blake Nelson teases a great story for the leader, saying it's like 16 years later, what are you doing? He's like, well, I can't reveal anything, spoilers, but it's good. Giancarlo Esposito is revealed to be playing Sidewinder, the leader of the Serpent Society.
Jay, you were right.
I called. I had very strong Serpent Society vibes from, or any societies in general, from that trailer. A new clip showed Harrison. None of these clips were released online.
Yeah.
A new clip showed Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross talking about this Celestial coming out of Earth from the end of Eternals. So that's as we thought.
So Eternals is finally acknowledged.
Exactly. Apart from like a little news thing in one of the shows, Adamantium will be introduced from the Celestial. We've assumed. In a clip, Ross turned into the Red Hulk in front of the White House in the middle of a speech. I couldn't tell if it was like from someone was attacking it or he just like did it to show he could, but then there's also that scene from the trailer where like the whole side of the White House is like something's happening into it, and I'm assuming that's that. Harrison Ford hulked out on stage, so you can tell he's having fun with this.
Yeah, you can find those pictures. I think discussing film tweet it's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's definitely having fun.
And then I didn't tell you this, but Kevin Feige commented on Harrison Ford joining the MCU, saying, "Quote." Just when I think my nerdy life can't get more complete, I hear Harrison Ford say adamantium. So we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. And then they launched into the Thunderbolts, which didn't have a lot of stuff. David Harbour showed up in costume as Red Guardian. Florence Pugh commented on the team dynamic, saying that's the joy of watching them together is that they don't play well together. Sebastian Stan said Florence Pugh's Yelena is a standout, and the whole cast came on stage. And then they showed the first trailer at Hall H, and then obviously didn't release it online because I don't think it comes out till like December of next year.
Yeah.
So we probably won't see it till probably February, maybe.
Oh,
no, we'll see Fantastic Four trailer before then because
probably be after Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we'll have the Fantastic Four trailer tag on to Captain America.
Comic-Con next year, we'll probably get the trailer that they got this year.
Exactly. It was revealed in the first trailer, though, that Yelena visits Red Guardian's apartment, calls him dad, and says that she has found that the only reason for her to live is killing others. So,
fun.
Yeah. Ghost has a new costume from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was revealed that all the Thunderbolts are individually assigned to the same job, but it's a setup. So...
Probably
by it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character. She's confirmed to be in it. And then they launched into Fantastic Four. Matt Shackman came on stage, followed later on by the main four, the cast. He announced it begins filming on Tuesday, July 30th, so this coming Tuesday. In other words, the day after this episode comes out. It was described as set in a, quote, retro future of the 60s. Matt Shackman says they went to the desert to find the best rock to make the thing out of. So that's pretty fun. Pre-shoot material was shown, which was shot in 4:3 aspect ratio. Yeah. It showed Pedro Pascal having an old school accent as Reed Richards teaching a science class. Okay,
that's kind of 4:3 and
yeah. So they're really leaning into the 60s, I think, which I love.
It should be in black and white.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. The Fantastic car was revealed is going to be an old Cadillac that looks straight out of the Jetsons, which I showed you the video.
Yeah.
It kind of like came on stage and like quote unquote took the cast away after that. Now they retitled it.
Okay.
The Fantastic Four Baby Steps.
I know what this is going for then.
Okay, so I'm like torn on it, but I also don't know the history behind
Baby
it.
steps. So what it probably is we are going to meet and we're going to be in the middle of the story for Fantastic Four. They've already
Oh yeah,
been
they told us it's not
team.
gonna be an origin story.
So it's not an origin story, which means Reed and Sue Storm are already together. They already have kids. You know who babysits those kids? Agatha Harkness.
Okay.
Baby steps.
Now this might not be the final title because obviously Captain
it'll be
America
Agatha all along.
Well,
Fantastic Four, Agatha all along.
No, she's back. Oh my god. Is it still releasing on July 25th, 2025, which is less than a year. We're less than a year out from the new Fantastic Four movie. Just think about that. Just let that sink in, guys.
Please be good. Please be good.
No.
I have a soft spot in my heart for the old ones, and then Fan Four Stick is whatever.
Yeah. But if this is not good, there's essentially no hope for a movie. Fantastic Four movie.
Just make
anymore.
a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. It was revealed that Michael Giacchino will compose the score, which he did the Spider-Man movies, and he also directed Werewolf by Night, which was amazing. Early footage of Galactus showed his face peering through the building, very clearly a giant cosmic entity. Pedro Pascal commented on joining the movie, saying, quote, Matt Shackman and I have known each other for 25 years, and we had the same talent manager, and he almost became my roommate in 1999, but he saw the place and said no. Vanessa Kirby, when asked about how they'd build a sibling bond with her and Joseph Quinn, being Sue and Johnny, she said, quote, we're the only Brits in the cast, so we're going to make everyone go to the pub since we're filming in London. Yeah. And you know how previously I said Kevin Feige is like, we're going to talk about these three movies?
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Okay.
Because they went on to talk about Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. You don't know anything but one thing.
Avengers 5.
I'm about to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're never going to guess the title.
Okay.
You're never going to get. They revealed the official title. It was announced that Fantastic Four will appear in both films.
Okay.
And then they revealed...
Avengers, Day of Doom.
Oh, wait. They revealed that the Russo brothers are set to direct both films.
Okay.
So that was my first guess from like...
Okay.
And then Avengers 5 has now been retitled to Avengers Doomsday. May 2026.
I was so close.
I know. Wait.
Okay.
They announced who will be playing Doctor Doom.
Okay.
I'll give you three guesses right now.
Three
You're
guesses.
not going to get it. Three guesses.
John Hamm.
Nope. You can't see it, but I'm smiling so hard right now.
John Hamm. Trying to think of all the different actors and be like, oh yeah, it was, I don't know.
You give up?
Yeah, I give up.
Robert Downey Jr.
What? Robert Downey?
Yeah.
I guess
Jr.
if
is playing
Fantastic
Dr.
Four's
Doom.
in another universe, that makes...
But he's going to be like... Doctor Doom. He came on stage in that thing, and I'm like, oh, he's probably doing like a joke saying like, oh, I'm going to be Robert Downey Jr. No, he's officially cast as Doctor Doom. He said, quote, new mask, same task. And he said, quote, what I tell you, I like playing complicated characters. So Robert Downey Jr. is our Doctor Doom. That was my next big. I'm like,
Oh. But
yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Are you more like concerned than like excited right now? Or,
Yes.
like confused?
I'm concerned.
Robert Downey Jr. is our Doctor Doom. Ladies and gentlemen, officially revealed tonight. This is very fresh information. Robert Downey Jr. is our MCU Doctor Doom. They said he's going to come back.
Yeah.
You remember Kevin did say that Deadpool Wolverine said if there is, they proved that there is a way to bring Wolverine back without disrupting the legacy.
Yeah.
By God.
There's a way to bring Robert Downey Jr. back.
Not specifically Tony Stark, but there's a way to bring Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom. Anthony Russo said, or then the new logo was revealed for both of them, that and Secret Wars. Doomsday is coming out in May 2026, and Secret Wars is coming out in May 2027. Which is going to make it interesting. Do you think...
Wait, Doom first and then Secret Wars?
Yep.
Because here's the thing. In Secret Wars, so what Secret Wars is in the original comics is a villain known as the Beyonder.
Yep.
Draws them all into Warworld and makes them battle each other. And then Doctor Doom takes over.
Yeah.
So I would have guessed Secret Wars would have been first, and then Doctor Doom would take over. So it's so because I thought Secret Wars was just going to be the Infinity War Endgame,
Yeah.
scenario. So that's interesting.
Doomsday is May 2026, and Secret Wars is May 2027.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which,
So,
I mean,
like-
Doctor Doom being the next big villain is great, but Robert Downey
He's actively trying to wrap his mind around
What
this.
does this mean?
I know.
Is he from
I
the
know.
alternate universe that Fantastic Four is in? So that explains the
Exactly.
different actors? Or did Tony Stark survive and lose his mind to become Doctor Doom? Which is stupid because Doctor Doom's a separate character, but
Yeah.
also like...
Kevin, we need answers.
What have you done to me?
Kevin,
I'm losing my mind.
Kevin, you're driving us insane.
We have to wait 2 more years for this.
I know.
Or a year and a half.
I know. Over a year and a half. It's just we've given something aneurysm. I still have 2 more pieces of news. They're not big.
Okay.
Stephen McFeely will write both films. Then Anthony Russo has commented on their return, saying, Joe and I truly believe that was the end of us for the MCU because we had pulled out all of our passion, or we had put all of our passion and love into these past films. I mean, we talked last week. Their track record in the MCU is 4 for 4.
Yeah.
So...
They...
my sources this week were Deadline, Movie Insider discussing film, The Wrap, The Guardian, IndieWire, Collider, USA Today, Hollywood Reporter, Screen Rant, Inverse, Games Radar, Bloomberg, at Demano Dear Girl, Cinema Today, Variety, Film Music Reporter, Hot Ones, GameSpot, at Extra TV, Empire, Entertainment Weekly, Entertainment Tonight, TV Line, and Box Office Mojo. Special thanks to like discussing film and Games Radar, which has kept me updated the whole...
My sources this week are IGN, discussing film, comicbook.com, superherohype.com, Game Rant, MMORPG.com, AIPT.com, at the Twitter account at DCU World, and all official sites and socials. Thank you to our sources. And now on to the final week
of our
we'll
take a little break.
Tier
Take a
list.
little breather. Ranking fictional detectives on how well / how fast they could figure out what Batman's secret identity is.
Doing the last 7.
The last 7. First up, we got Olivia Benson from SVU, Mariska Hargitay. Do you know anything about this? I've watched episodes here and there.
Me too.
Yeah.
But enough to know she's,
I think I'd put her in like a solid neutral area.
solid
like
neutral
B.
area B.
I think B.
Put her
good
tail into
space
B.
for her.
That's where we're putting a
There.
lot of these, but it's because
B's
they're like
they're good detectives.
they're yeah.
But you got to be like
Yeah, there's some yeah.
higher up to be that. Next we got forgot we had these in here. Oliver.
Is it the Only Murders crew?
Only Murders. Oliver,
okay.
Mabel, and Charles from Only Murders in the Building.
Where do we
Thing
put
is,
them?
How
They would-
does Batman get to the Arconia?
what happens is someone jumps the fence and like a villain jumps the fence and then runs through and Batman swoops in and
Oliver's like, my dip.
someone at the Arconian is murdered by this person, and it's being investigated by both them and Batman.
Yeah. Despite the detective is telling them, do not get involved in this. And like, you know what would really grab the young listeners of today for our podcast? Batman.
What if we got Batman on our podcast and then he talks about, I don't know.
No, that's exactly what Charles would say. He'd start and then he wouldn't be able to finish it. And then Martin Short would be like, ugh. I love them. I love those two so much. I want to say a solid C.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they're D territory, but we can't go higher than C.
Yeah,
these guys. This is gonna be all you.
Oh, it's the Persona 4 team. Persona 4 team. I would put them in A.
A.
Because they have some kind of supernatural shenanigans going on where they enter people's like headspace and stuff. So if they went into Batman's mind, and it would be like, oh, Batman would be facing his inner self. His inner self's Bruce Wayne, or Batman.
They'd find that out.
They would find that out. So I would say B or A. I mean A. A. So
now we got
Phoenix Wright. This is also one that's all me.
Yeah.
Put him in C. He's just he solves murders because what it is you play as a lawyer. You know the Phoenix Wright games, right? You play as a lawyer. You're a defense attorney who has to somehow prove that, in a world where trials have to take 3 days.
Oh, so he's had to get it like real quick.
He has to himself investigate and prove that his clients are the murderers. And so it leads to...
So he already has like a 3-day...
So he has 3 days to
limit.
investigate, and he most of the time ends up solving the murder himself in the court so he can prove that...
Yeah.
But he's also kind of bumbling and a lot of like, why does this weird stuff keep happening to me kind of attitude about it.
In general, every day.
Until the latter half of the series where he becomes the mentor to a new protagonist. But it is very much, I mean, psychics exist in his world, so it would be no surprise that,
that
so I could see like, Bruce Wayne ends up being accused of something, and then he has a hard time like giving Bruce Wayne an alibi because he's Batman.
He's always
And
where were you this night? And he's like, we can't tell.
Oh man, Two-Face. This would be so cool because Two-Face is an attorney. And anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
C.
So C, because he does go and confront the murderer himself a lot, and then getting knocked out because the murderer's like, oh, you're accusing me of murder? I'm just gonna punch you in the face now.
Exactly.
And anyway, so he's not the smartest tool in the shed when it comes to like handling stuff like that. People have gotten kidnapped and stuff because he just did not think enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
put him in C. We got next one, Rip Andre Brower. It's Captain Raymond Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, our last of the 3 Brooklyn Nine-Nine trios. He's very attentive to detail.
And he's also has been around the block.
Yes.
So if Batman exists in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine universe,
he would have encountered it.
He would have encountered,
if not his parents.
If not, well. Yes. So what
I'm gonna
if?
Say, dare we go A?
Do we go A? So this was my thought. What if?
Yeah, you told me you had like a headcanon.
What if the Wayne case was a cold case from his? from his past when he like interned in Gotham or something.
Yeah.
And so he makes a bet with Peralta that he can't
figure it out. And he's also like known Bruce.
Yeah, and so he's like, I bet you can't figure out who Batman is. And it's like, oh yeah, I totally knew it was him. I mean, I tried to solve his parents' murder and just do this whole anyway.
Dare we say A then?
I say A.
A?
Now remember, we are biased when it comes to a lot of these.
Exactly.
But Sam and Max, put them in D. They have saved the world, but they have not actually solved mysteries.
It's one of those
they're freelance police is like their thing. People hire them, but a lot of the times, even if it's a mystery they're trying to solve, they end up only saving the world, and like mysteries are kind of solved in front of them.
Yeah,
is how I would print. So I'd say D.
They should be doing.
They're too busy doing. Chaotic stuff that ends up saving the world and in the middle of it instead of actually solving a mystery of any kind. So
D tier.
Because their first game they're in, because it was a comic book series and it was a game. I'm going off of what I know in the games. The first game they're in, they're like, someone kidnapped our freak show people. And so they almost find it immediately. They know who it is. And so it's like the rest of it is them trying to rescue. So they don't really solve a whole lot. So
They just
yeah.
through happens around them. And then our last and final one of this month is the Psych duo, Gus.
Sean and Gus.
This is all I haven't seen Psych.
You haven't seen Psych?
No.
Dude, you need to watch Psych.
No, it's on my list.
After Cheers, whatever your next Lego set
Frasier.
is. Oh yeah, after Frasier. Yeah, after Frasier, whatever your next Lego set is.
Probably
the Eiffel Tower. My dad asked me if you're going to get the Tower of Sauron.
I want to bad.
You want to bad?
I want to so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Sean and Gus. So Sean is basically Sherlock Holmes in what his powers are.
Yeah.
He is so good at observation and guessing things about people and things about like just glancing, and he has a photographic memory.
Which one, Sean? Is that Dulé Hill or is that?
It's the other one.
The other one. Okay.
I can't remember his name at the moment. It's terrible. Anyway, he is so good at observation and just using educate. Like he and his dad have a Christmas tradition of wrapping each other's gifts, and then they just shake the gift and guess what it is. His dad was a police detective, and he did not go into that field, but he is super to the point where, because the premise of the show, he pretends to be psychic, and people honestly believe him because he is just that good at
telling stuff.
So, I would also say A.
A.
If not,
thinking, by the way you're describing, I'm like A.
If not, like high A, because he is very immature. So there's a lot of things that would not get him quite up to S.
Yeah.
But I would put him in A.
A.
Especially because him and Gus going and doing their thing. A lot of time they'll just stumble into wherever. And because even though he's like, oh, it's known that there's a psychic that helps the police, he's not well known enough, so he can just wander in anywhere and to investigate. And they're like, who are you? Oh, I am Mr. Snagglepuss, and this here is my friend Baldy McGee. And then he goes into like
obviously fake names.
Yeah, obviously fake. It is like a reoccurring joke what all of Gus's fake names are. In some episodes, Gus is like, come on, man. And some there's one where he's all in on the joke.
Yeah.
You just honestly go on you.
Like
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has all those compilations on YouTube. So does Psych.
Yeah.
So go on and find some Psych
like
compilations of like Gus best bits.
Yeah.
Their duo dynamic is just so good. There's also a character in that you're gonna be like, me.
Is it a dumb one?
He's a dumb one.
I'm always the dumb one. I love being the dumb one.
Yeah. Anyway,
people are like, why do you like being the dumb one? Isn't that to make you feel bad? I'm like, no, it gets people laughing at me.
Yeah.
My guy, I love being the dumb ones. Always get the laughs.
Yeah.
Dumb ones always get the good laughs. Chris Pratt got the best one-liner and the best improv line in the entirety of Parks and Rec, and Mike sure hates it because of it.
And it wasn't even in the episode, right?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't in the episode. They kept it.
Leslie goes home with a fever, and as she's leaving her office, Chris Pratt, who's like filling in for April at the moment at her desk.
That one.
That one.
Okay, I thought you meant
the Kim Kardashian.
The Kim Kardashian
no.
one.
He goes, Leslie, I typed your symptoms in the network, and it says you have network connectivity problems. Mike sure was like, we died of that, and I hate that. That's better than anything I've ever written before. And I'm like, the dumb guys always get the best lines, my guy.
If there is one actor who I'm glad that he has the career he has, but I honestly do think his career was ruined a little bit by going immediately and doing action movies, is think of all the comedy movies and other sitcoms and stuff we could have gotten out of Chris Pratt.
I know. And then Guardians happened, which is good.
Yeah, which is good. Like
in Jurassic World.
But like, man, that dude is too funny not to be stuck being like look at me, I'm the next action guy. I'm this new smarmy, like yeah.
Yep. What do you think I've been saying all along? Chris Pratt's my boy. He's my homie.
Anyway.
He's been my homie for years. And he will always be my homie.
Well, this has been a long one.
Oh yeah. Should we recap our last?
Final? we better recap our final tier list of the month.
So an S tier, no new additions this week. Holding down the fort are going to be Sherlock Holmes, Columbo, and Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot.
I'm never going to get that right. Ever. And now it's too late. A tier, we got Basil from The Great Mouse Detective. We got Benoit Blanc. We got Professor Layton, Monk, Scooby-Doo, or Mr. Inked, I should say. And then
They call it the Persona 4 investigation team.
Persona 4 investigation team. Raymond Holt, and then Gus and
Sean and Gus
from Psych. In B tier, we got the Bones duo. I always forget their names as well.
Brennan and Booth.
We got the BAU from Criminal Minds. I'd say 90% of that's going to be Spencer Reed. Inspector Gadget with...
And Penny.
Yep. Jake Peralta, Jessica Fletcher, Jessica Jones. Tom Selleck from...
Magnum P.I.
Did
you almost say Miami Vice again?
I knew after I screwed up Poirot, I'm like, I'm not going to say Miami Vice. And then I got to this, and it just left me, and all I could think about was Miami Vice. David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson from The X-Files. Mulder and Scully. That's what their names are. Yeah. Nancy Drew, and then Olivia Benson from SVU. And then in C tier, we got Amy Santiago, Castle and Beckett, Chip and Dale, Commissioner Gordon, Eddie from... Who Framed Roger Rabbit. These names are all leaving me. The Hardy Boys, Ace Ventura, Dark Side Detective.
McQueen and Dooley
from
Dark Side Detectives.
That's what I thought. The Only Murders in the Building trio and
Phoenix Wright.
And then in D tier, we got Detective Pikachu. We should have learned his name by now.
Leslie Nielsen
from The Naked Gun. We're just gonna. We can't. It's a thing now. We can't know his name. Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther. Why can I remember his name and not Poirot or my... I almost said Miami Vice again.
and Sam and Max from Sam and Max Freelance Police.
What is wrong with me?
This has been a long episode, but we hope you enjoyed it. Wherever you are watching the podcast, be sure to subscribe, follow, comment, do all those engagement things.
And there was plenty more news we didn't get to mention. Hit up Discussing Film, IGN.
Just all those sources. If there's anything we missed, let us know, or just seek it out yourself.
There were some new announcements. Skibidi Toilet.
Oh yeah, the Skibidi Toilet movie that I asked you specifically not to include.
I know.
Anyway, you can follow the podcast on all social medias at Mondays for Nerds. You can follow me, Tristan Stump, on most social medias at Sir Stump Slot or at Sir Stump Slot 17.
And you can follow me on Twitter at PoeThePanda001. Should have a little Chris Pratt Star-Lord picture.
And
for my animal tweets and occasional movie reviews.
We hope to see you guys next week for another Monday of our weekly news roundup.
We hope you were just excited about San Diego Comic-Con as we were. We hope we filled your knowledge with what you were hoping and expecting.
And if your brain was just as broken about RDJ as mine has been.
I had an hour and a half to sit on it, and you're just still.
let me know, because yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.